The Sally-Ann false belief task is an experiment used to tell whether a child understands the difference between belief and reality. It goes as follows. First, the child sees Sally hide a marble inside a covered basket, as Anne looks on. Sally leaves the room, and Anne takes the marble out of the basket and hides it inside a lidded box. Anne leaves the room, and then Sally returns. Finally, the experimenter asks the child where Sally will look for her marble. Children under the age of 4 say that Sally will look for her marble inside the box. Children over the age of 4 say that Sally will look for her marble inside the basket. Human children over the age of, typically, 4 first begin to understand what it means for Sally to lose her marbles, for Sally's beliefs to stop corresponding to reality. A 3-year-old has a model only of where the marble is. A 4-year-old is developing a theory of mind. They separately model where the marble is and where Sally believes the marble is, so they can notice when the two conflict, when Sally has a false belief. Any meaningful belief has a truth condition, some way reality can be which can make the belief true or alternatively false. If Sally's brain holds a mental image of a marble inside the basket, then, in reality itself, the marble can actually be inside the basket, in which case Sally's belief is called true, since reality falls inside its truth condition. Or alternatively, Anne may have taken out the marble and hidden it in the box, in which case Sally's belief is termed false, since reality falls outside the belief's truth condition. The mathematician Alfred Tarski once described the notion of truth via an infinite family of truth conditions, such as the sentence "snow is white" is true if and only if snow is white. The sentence "the sky is blue" is true if and only if the sky is blue. When you write it out that way, it looks like the distinction might be trivial. Indeed, why bother talking about sentences at all if the sentence looked so much like reality when both are written out as English? But when we go back to the Sally-Ann task, the difference looks much clearer. Sally's belief is embodied in a pattern of neurons and neural firings inside Sally's brain, 3 pounds of wet and extremely complicated tissue inside Sally's skull. The marble itself is a small, simple plastic sphere moving between the basket and the box. When we compare Sally's belief to the marble, we're comparing two very different things. Then why talk about these abstract sentences instead of just neurally embodied beliefs? Maybe Sally and Fred believe the same thing, i.e. their brains both have internal models of the marble inside the basket. Two brain-bound beliefs with the same truth condition. In which case, the thing these two beliefs have in common, the shared truth condition, is abstracted into the form of a sentence or proposition that we might imagine being true or false apart from any brains that believe it. Some pundits have panicked over the point that any judgment of truth, any comparison of belief to reality, takes place inside some particular person's mind, and indeed seems to just compare someone else's belief to your belief. So is all this talk of truth just comparing other people's beliefs to our own beliefs, and trying to assert privilege? Is the word truth just a weapon in a power struggle? For that matter, you can't even directly compare other people's beliefs to your own beliefs. You can only internally compare your beliefs about someone else's belief to your own belief. Compare your map of their map to your map of the territory. Similarly, to say of your own beliefs that the belief is true just means you're comparing your map of your map to your map of the territory. People usually are not mistaken about what they themselves believe, though there are certain exceptions to this rule. Yet nonetheless, the map of the map is usually accurate, i.e., people are usually right about the question of what they believe. And so saying, "I believe the sky is blue, and that's true," typically conveys the same information as "I believe the sky is blue," or just saying, "the sky is blue," namely, that your mental model of the world contains a blue sky. Meditation. If the previous is true, aren't the postmodernists right? Isn't all this talk of truth just an attempt to assert the privilege of your own beliefs over others, when there's nothing that can actually compare a belief to reality itself, outside of anyone's head? A meditation is a puzzle that the viewer is meant to attempt to solve before continuing on to the next video. It's an attempt to reflect the research that shows that you're much more likely to remember a fact or solution if you try to solve the problem yourself before seeing the solution. Succeed or fail, the important thing is to have tried.